Okay, that was Mob Psycho 100, Season 1, Episode 11. This might be like one of the worst cliffhangers that I've ever had to experience. Ever.
You know how excited you get? You're like, yeah, let's watch the next episode. You know? And I thought I really, really wanted to watch this episode after the last. And now I'm like, oh my god. With that ending. It's... Oh, okay.
Holy shit. My only hope is that it is a plastic sword and he didn't die.
Well, I mean, that does open up the question of, it truly was a plastic sword. And if Reagan is completely a normal human, does it work the same way on him as it would if he had attacked using psychic powers on another psychic? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways that keep Reagan alive and not have been slashed.
There's no blood. I don't know. The obvious, like, I'm really trying to cope.
Is Reagan actually truly talented and powerful in some regard?
In every regard.
Okay,
Did you watch this episode?
Is he actually like an Esper? Is he actually psychic? And he's able to hide it so well from someone else, from other people, and he tries his best to never use it against people. And so everything he's been teaching Mob is correct. I don't know.
No.
So is Reagan just dead?
I don't know.
Can Mob turn back time?
I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't put that out of the question, though. Like, if
bringing people back from the dead.
If he can put a school back together, could he put a person back together?
Right. Could you bring someone back to life? Could you heal their wounds?
We don't know what this 100 is. It was about to be murderous intent, and holy...
Thank God. Thank God that Reagan stopped that.
I was scared.
Because he was like, I'm okay if I kill everyone in this room except for the, 3 people that I'm trying to protect.
And the visuals that they were using, were so good that I, was convinced that it was going to happen.
I don't like Mob having murderous intent. That makes me so sad for him and scared for him.
The issue is, what do you do in a story that seems to be heavily focused on fighting if the main character refuses to fight? What do you have going forward? Because I agree, I don't like Mob doing this. I love him, but...
He's gonna have to. I mean, this is only the 7th division of Claw. If this is the track that the story goes, and that this Claw organization is the overarching villain of this series, then that means there's going to be stronger opponents. Opponents where Mob doesn't even have an option.
But I don't know. It's definitely a dilemma that I'm very curious how they're gonna go forward with it, because if Reagan's dead here, right, or if whatever, you wouldn't want to defer and go against what his message was.
What his reason for dying was. Honestly, if Reagan died here and then Mob killed all of them, then Reagan died for nothing. You know?
Yeah.
So either Reagan's dead and Mob has a different way of beating all these people that doesn't include killing them, or Reagan's not dead, in my opinion.
This could have caused something where Mob either passes out, or Sakurai, the inventor of the spray, uses the spray where Mob passes out, and Mob's dark passenger is the one who kills. But then I wouldn't want that to happen to Mob.
But it could be something for his character to know that if he had killed them then Reagan wouldn't be dead. And I don't think that wouldn't necessarily be used here. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what happens.
You want to know what
move?
It's so hard. This show is so hard for me to critically think about, because I don't know what's wrong with me, but I care about these characters so much that it blurs my my desire of like good storytelling. Like
you just don't want anything bad to happen to Mob. It's almost like we all want Mob to just like be safe and get to go back home.
But then that's not a story.
But that's not the story. That's us just trying to protect this like lovable character that we've met. Who doesn't want to fight and doesn't want to hurt people. And so we don't want him to have to fight and have to hurt people.
This is one of my favorite shows of all time. 11 episodes in. It
causes a dilemma for us as the audience. I have never watched anything where I wasn't cheering on the main character for fighting back, you know, or being like, oh, they're gonna lose, oh no, and like cheering them on because I know that this is gonna push them to get stronger if they do lose. Here I'm like, I don't want Mob to fight. Like, when have I ever watched a show where I didn't want the character that was the main character to fight?
It's because we believe, at least speaking for myself wholeheartedly, that if he wanted to, he could kill anybody he needed to. Mm-hmm. But that's not what we want. We're fighting with that, and
just like he is.
Yeah, and dude, so I wrote this down. I've loved Reagan from the get-go, and I will continue to love Reagan whether he continues in the show or not, praying that he will. But Reagan, say what you will about him, right? Because it's very easy to make the argument of why he's a bad person. I think it would be very easy for somebody to make that argument, but he cared first. He cared before he knew Mob was psychic and believed it.
Right. He let Mob in and talked to him and said really good things before Mob even showed him that he could hold up a cup in the air, you know, with hot tea in it. That really says something. And it's interesting because if you think about, Reagan as a con artist, if you think about him as a villain, he's taking advantage of people. Yes, but it is adults with money who are paying him for a service that he is doing. And in some regard, he's giving them something that they need in return. They need some form of closure. They need to feel safe again in their own home if they feel like they're haunted. And obviously now that he has Mob, he can truly give those people, you know, what he says he's giving them. And so he's not a bad guy to let people believe what they want to believe. And especially adults with their own money. He's not kidnapping children, you know. He obviously has a line of what is morally okay for him to be doing and what is truly villainous.
This show has me in an emotional chokehold. For a show that's main character is emphasized of not feeling a lot, I feel so much watching this show. Opening up the episode with Mob and Ritsu's memory or dream. And seeing how much Mob loves Ritsu and how he's just so glad that he's safe and Ritsu wasn't even able to apologize.
For a character that's not an open book and not overly emotional and you can't truly read them, you can read them so well.
Yeah.
It's truly successful.
It's truly successful, and Teru is successfully the third sibling in this family now. He calls Ritsu younger brother.
I know, that was so cute. You know what we should be talking about? The last conversation Mob and Ritsu had, where Ritsu said all of those horrible things to Mob.
Yeah.
And then the next true interaction we have of them, Ritsu's like, why are you not letting me apologize? And he's crying. And Mob's just like, why does he need to hear Ritsu apologize when he forgave Ritsu at the moment that Ritsu was saying all those things?
Yeah,
he doesn't need to hear it.
He doesn't need to hear it.
Because he even told Ritsu, I know that some of what you're saying isn't true in the moment.
What is true is that I am your brother. We want to know who we didn't really see from the start of the interaction with Reagan and the rest of Claw, the higher-ups, or Scar. Suzuki, I believe his name is Temp. He was just gone.
Where is he?
I don't know, but I think...
Well, he did say that he was going to take all of the kids. So what if he's using this opportunity? You know how all the kids are outside right now?
Yeah.
What if he's truly just taking them? He's like, well, this guy that they have locked up there is going to beat all of the 7th Division. I'm just going to take these kids back to HQ.
I didn't think he wanted to take them. I thought he wanted to
mainly take Ritsu, but I think he said kids in general, but mainly the one in the uniform.
Gotcha.
Because he thought he'd be a good friend.
Yeah. Dude, can you tell, like, Reagan did so good. Like,
he made all of those lackeys just kind of choose to not reap the future rewards of Claw taking over society.
He inspires generations, as well as defending his students and not wanting to let kids fight.
I love that all he needed to use against those people was, you do realize all these things you are doing are crimes, right? And then all those people were like, oh my god, yeah, they are. I'm like, how did you not have an internal struggle while you were doing all these things?
Yeah.
It's because they all failed to develop powers. And so they wanted so badly to be psychic that they're kind of like how Ritsu was at the beginning. Like, obviously they're going to stay. Obviously they're going to join Claw and stay. Because some of them still believed they would have another chance to try to develop powers. And that's when the guy with 20 years experience was like, no, you only get one shot.
I don't even know where we're going to go, man. That's what, like, it's so compelling because I don't know where we're going to go. It's different. It's a different, like, I haven't watched a show that goes in like the same.
I've never met a character like Mob specifically.
Hypnosis Punch is my favorite one of Reagan's techniques. I think that is so smart.
I like the anti-Esper drop kick too. Okay,
yes, that was great and all, but like the actual like thought process behind Hypnosis Punch, like of course they're gonna like be just you're giving them something to be distracted on, so they won't see it coming.
And they would never expect a physical hit.
Yeah.
They're so used to fighting psychics.
I really like that Sakurai's sword, Jugen, is actually a toy sword made out of plastic.
Oh, remember what he said? He said to Teru, "You're stronger than I was at your age, I'm stronger than you will be in 10 years."
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Do you think that Sakurai did the chamber?
I think all of them did.
Okay.
I think they're all so strong because they were amplified.
Gotcha.
And that's probably why they're so loyal as well. Because, yes, they had powers, but they owe their success to Claw.
Yeah. I felt what I think Mob felt, like, in the moment. Like, first of all, great environment for a battle, like, after all this destruction happened. But when Ritsu and Teru were like yelling like you have to like beat them, but Reagan was like, no, don't bother with them. Like, I'm in that position of like, I don't want Mob to have to do this. I was a little
frustrated at Reagan for keeping for slowing down the progress of the ending of the fight. Mob could have just ended the fight there, not even necessarily killed everyone. Could have just ended the fight there. But Reagan was stalling that end because obviously he doesn't want Mob to use his powers against other people because he doesn't want Mob to suffer, guys. Well, like, to hear him say that, I was like, I'm done.
It was something along the lines of like if you do this, it'll only make it worse for you, like, in the end.
Yeah.
Like, dealing with it. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's so true. Think about how Mob reacted when he destroyed the school in episode 5.
Yeah, but also think about how Mob would react if Ritsu and Teru died because he didn't stop these people.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I felt like what Mob was feeling. Like, there's torn. No right answer.
No. And so
the only right answer would be like, pick everybody up that you care about and like teleport 1,000 miles away. Yeah. You know, like
separate the fight.
Yeah.
Run away. As Reagan was trying to get them to run away, and Ritsu and Teru were like, we can't currently run away when we're literally defending ourselves blow by blow. And so, yeah, if they could like teleport, that would be a great strategy for running away.
Yeah, but then again, if that happens, what do you do with the rest of the series? Like, how, like, if
Claw
you're not...
will continue to chase after them with stronger and stronger opponents.
And never fight them?
What? That's why I said stronger and stronger opponents. Where you're gonna have to fight. You can't even run away, because you can't even...
But at the moment, we can't even run away, but we don't want Mob to fight. It's so, like, I don't know what...
He has to fight.
I don't know what it's gonna do.
I don't know anymore if the Gravity division leader, 7th division leader, is Tsubomi anymore. Because now I'm like, it could just be a kid.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a female child. And I see no hint that they are talking about Mob in a way that shows familiarity.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna retract that, how strongly I believed in that possibility.
I won't retract it just because for the fun of it.
I'm retracting how strongly I felt about it. I'm not retracting it fully.
Do you think Suzuki Temp could take on Sakurai based off of our no knowledge power scaling?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a feeling by the energy that was in the room when Sakurai went up to the Temp with Jugen, that he was unafraid of actually being hurt by the people in that room. I think he has a sense that he's stronger. And he has this confidence that he can't be touched. He has this, like, aura that he can't be touched. And I kind of believe that.
We might have lost the two most important characters in the show this episode.
Dimple and Reagan?
Reagan and Teru's hair. It's devastating.
Why did he choose such a tall wig?
To up his percentage. People loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
I love this show. I really do. I want to watch the show forever.
Forever and ever and ever. Every weekend.
If it is 12 episodes in the first season, I could see it ending.
I think it is. And now from this episode, it definitely feels like it's a 12 or 13 episode season. Don't those always bum you out a little bit? It's nice because sometimes like it's just a really well-planned way to get to an ending and not feeling like, oh, we have to put a bunch of filler or whatever. But like this, I'm always impressed when shows only have 12 or 13 episodes instead of 25, and they make you understand the characters and their dynamics and their relationships so early on. That's always really impressive when you're given half the time, you know?
When Reagan was in like the interaction with the scars, he said, how did they end up like this? The answer is simple. What do you think it was? Do you think that it potentially was like them not having a Reagan? Like them not having someone to like distill and like teach them like morals?
Well, almost like think about it like of Teru. I feel like to Teru, Mob is what Reagan is to Mob. Teru had a whole new way of thinking of his psychic abilities and how he should use them once he met Mob. And because Teru was the leader of that school's like gang, you know? Like he was hurting people.
Granted, he didn't want to join Claw. He wanted to like...
But he was still using his powers over other people.
Yeah.
To assert dominance and to be popular.
This show makes me feel...
Makes you feel? I will say that I was saying that the 12 episodes is impressive for characters, but it's also impressive in terms of the flow. It hasn't felt rushed at all, but there has been a lot of action and a lot of movement in location and story. So that's really impressive as well.
Agreed. Like some of my favorite shows of all time are like 12 episode series. Like Given is up there, but this has a very similar feel in like the first 11 episodes. It feels like a very contained, good story.
Good pacing. It doesn't make you feel like, oh, wait too quick for that to have happened. Yeah. The battles also don't feel too quick, even when some of the characters are slightly possibly overpowered compared to others. It feels like they have a nice pacing, especially like Mob versus Koyama when they were in the alley when Ritsu was getting kidnapped. That had a really good pacing. So yeah, honestly, very impressed and also very scared for next episode.
Same. Good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.
Don't those always bum you out a little bit? Don't those always bum you out a little bit? Don't those always bum you out a little bit?
Don't those always bum you out a little bit?